Hey guys, Suresh here from TMCB. Today we're gonna talk about how to stay happy in life part 2. If you guys have missed the part 1 video, I would first suggest you to go watch the part 1 video. Without much further delay, let's directly get into the topic. In this part 2 video, the first point that we're gonna talk about is don't go after money because this is one thing that every person who is actually born as a person tends to do this mistake. Their main motto or their main goal would be going after money, which actually does not work in everyone's case, right? You have certain limitations or you have certain fate or say luck in your life, and everything would go according to that. Now, let's say that you're a person from a poor class family or a middle class family. Your only motto should not be going after money, but then to achieve for something in life could be that you want to finish your MBA, could be that you want to become a manager at a company, could be that you want to start up a business, could be that you want to launch a new technology by yourself, or you want to become a programmer. Now, this should be your first motto or goal for that particular year or for that particular month, and not earning money or becoming a millionaire or a billionaire. Trust me, when the Apple founder or the Amazon founder, who is Jeff Bezos, when they started, I'm sure money was not their only motto. It was about bringing up their company to a next level, which automatically in return gives them money, right? But their only goal or motto was not going only behind money. Now, what happens when you go only behind money is at certain point you might come across various failures, and when that happens, you're deeply gonna break down, you're deeply gonna get into depression, and all of these things might happen. So avoid only going behind money. Money, yes, it is an important part of everyone's life, but not the only part, right? So go behind goals then rather than going behind money. Now, the next point is do not try or portray to be luxurious if you cannot afford it to. What do I mean by this is, let's say that your monthly salary or your annual salary is only about 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs. Do not go and buy an iPhone on an EMI basis worth 1.5 lakh, which is half your annual salary. Now, by doing this, yes, of course, people would be like, hey, you got a new iPhone, you have an iPhone 13 or 14 or 15 or whatever shit it is. But that happiness or that moment of proudness, it's only gonna be there for 1 or 2 seconds in the whole life. But then once you come back home, you are gonna sleep for 8 to 9 hours with only one thing running in your mind. That is, you have to pay an EMI before the next month. You have to pay a loan of rupees 15,000 or 20,000 rupees, where your salary itself is only about 25,000 to 30,000. Or let's say even your salary is about 50,000, you still do not want to pay an EMI of half your salary, right? Now that puts a person into huge pressure. Pressure in return creates sadness in life, creates a lot of discomfort in life. You will not be happy, you cannot get along with friends and move along with friends in a happier way. Do not try or portray to be yourself luxury. It's okay to look low, it's okay to look like how you stay in a middle class family. No one's gonna come and be like, hey, you're from a middle class family, you're from a lower middle class family. The only thing that differentiates you from another people is how good or how well behaved you are or how well educated you are. So rather than portraying yourself to look rich, go behind education and go behind how well you can behave with others. And these are something that every human being should have in their instance. These are basic qualities of a human being. So this is the second point. And the third point is, boss scoldings are fine. Most of the IT company people, most of the people who work in IT firms or startup firms, they go through this. They always come back cribbing or complaining that their managers or their bosses keep screwing them, keep scolding them, even after they do a world class job, even after they complete the project on time, even after, let's say that they did their work, everything before even the deadline could come. But still their bosses or their higher management or their HR is sort of screwing them or fucking around with them. And this is very common for any newcomers into the IT firm or the startup firm. You guys would be like, let's quit this company and go to the next company. But let me tell you something very honestly, which is a little bit of a bitter information. It is the same all over the world, not just in India, not just in your company, or not just in IT firms or automobile sector or finance sector. It is the same in all the companies throughout the world, in all MNC companies and all IT firms. If you find a boss who's not screwing you, which means that the boss is not working for himself, right? And you do not want to be working in a company like that, because there'll be no growth in that company. Or by luck, you might find a boss who is working really hard and he knows the value of a person or an employee. Only in certain cases you might find a boss or a higher management like that. And if you are one among such management, you guys should consider yourself lucky and stick with that company for a very long time. But 99.9% of the companies are not like that. In case your boss screws you or your higher management screws you, just keep one thing in mind, that the same person who screwed you is also being screwed by his higher management. Could be a CEO, a CTO, a COO. Everyone has pressure in their day-to-day life. Everyone are going through their pressure. The person has not only got pressure from his office or higher management, but also would have certain family pressures, would have certain personal problems, would have health issues, would have finance problems, and all of these things is what that makes a person look arrogant. If that particular person is being arrogant to you, you just need to chill, calm down, go out, take a coffee, take a smoke, or go have a shot, or whatever that makes you chill, and then think before taking any hasty decisions. Many people are very sensitive to all of the screwings. Most people cannot take scoldings or screwings in front of others. When something like this happens, they immediately go home and then send a resignation mail, or write a resignation letter, which they feel it's right for that particular moment. But what about the next month? How are you going to lead your life for the next couple of days? You need to pay your rent, you need to pay your car EMI, you might be paying your home EMI, you might have a family to look after, you might have a kid who you need to pay the school fees for, or buy uniform or books. All of these things are there, right? So think twice when something like this happens. Just stay calm, go back home, talk to your family. First, indulge yourself into something and away from everything that happened on that particular day. And probably you might even forget it. Now, for example, let's say that you quit your previous job that you were working because your boss screwed you. Today, if you think about it, it would be so silly for you, right? Because you would be like, that guy always keeps screwing, and why would I even leave the job for that? He's not screwing just me. He used to screw everyone else in the company. And why am I the only one to quit the job? Because the person who got screwed with you is still in that position. Maybe he would have got promoted, but you came out of the company, started all the way from the beginning. You started again from A. Now you're going slowly towards Z, whereas the other person who worked with you in the previous company is already at Z. So this is what you need to think about, because when you quit one company and go to another, you again start from the starting, right? There's no mid-entry for you. You again need to make colleagues, you again need to get a good name for yourself, you need to prove who you are, which is a bit of pain. Now that's the third point. The fourth point is, never ever fight in a relationship. Could be with your girlfriend, could be with your wife, could be with your son, could be with your friends. The reason being is, you might not find these people again in your life, right? You might not find them in your next reincarnation. You might not find them, maybe if you lose them once for all, because all of these persons are only one, and there are no doubles. You're not playing a game where you can find the same clone person of your girlfriend or your son, right? In case they fight, it's okay. You say sorry. There's no wrong in saying sorry to the person. Even if the mistake is on them, even if they are the one who's doing wrong, it's okay to forgive them and accept them the way they are. Because, like I said, there's only one person or one wife that you're entirely gonna meet, unless and until you get divorced and go to a next woman and consider that woman as your wife. That happens in a typical scenario, which I don't want to talk about those things. But then let's say that you're married, and you have a girlfriend, or you're just there in a relationship with a girl for 10 years or 15 years. A small thing shouldn't break this apart, right? It's okay to let go of things, anything that had caused a discomfort to you, or that has caused a sort of bitterness in your life, or would have made you lose interest in what you're doing. But you just need to think about one thing, that that particular person is never going to get into your life if you leave them once for all. So do not fight, always forgive. It's okay to go and say sorry even if it's not your mistake, because by saying so you're not going to be put down in any prestigious form. You in fact would look much more sort of a guru, because the mistake is of theirs, but then you still go and ask sorry, which will also calm them down and also make your relationship much more happier, right? Now that's the fourth point. What's the fifth point is, never fight with your parents. Never do that. Never ever fight with your parents, because if you work 8 hours in a company or 9 hours in a company, the rest 12 to 15 hours you have to come back to your home and stay with your parents. When you fight with your parents for certain small things, maybe your mom would have asked you to wash your clothes, maybe your dad would have asked you to probably go and pay the electricity bill that he's had the money for a very long time. And if you're not able to do things like that, or if they keep screwing you or advising you to get married, or do something in life, what business are you doing, it's okay, because please understand one thing, these two souls are the only souls that care about you in the entire world. And that is the reason why they keep telling you to go do something in life. What are you doing? Do something better. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's because if you actually sit and think, their only motto there is not for you to earn money and put it in their bank account, but then earn money and make sure you go to the next level, right? Because your dad wouldn't have it wouldn't have been possible for him to buy a BMW car, or it wouldn't have been possible for him to buy a 3 BHK apartment on a beachside, right? But he would want you to buy, not for him to go and stay, but for you to go and lead a happy life. Not many fathers or mothers would tell this to their kids, because in India, usually there's a lot of separation. Too many people are shy to even discuss about all this. That's how our Indian system is, for some weird reason. I don't know why. But this is what will be there in their mind, right? So you need to actually go and talk to your parents on why did they say that. Let's say that you are a person who wants to get into acting, but your father is not interested, or he feels that you might not succeed, because there's so many people out there who's going and trying for acting, but out of 100 only one or two people succeed, right? There is 98 or 97 people come back on whatever they were doing, but then it will also be very late for them to come back and do whatever the stuff they were doing, right? Because they wasted almost 5 years trying for various opportunities and they didn't get. Now they're coming back. Now this is the panicness that every father or a mother would have, especially if you are from a very orthodox family or from a middle class, lower middle class family. Hence, talk to your parents, make them understand why you're doing stuff, make them understand what will be the outcome if you do this, make them understand on exactly what your plan is. This is my plan. In case I am going for an acting class or for a singing class, I'm gonna try it out for 2 years, but don't worry, you will have my degree in hand. If you want me to do an MBA or master's, I will get it done. And this will sort problems out for you, trust me. So this will be my fifth point. Never fight with your parents. I hope all of these points sort of helps you in your life. Very simple basic points. I'm not trying to explain anything that is complex out here. I'm sure most of y'all would have already know about all of these points that I explained, and some of y'all would also be trying all of these points and applying the same process in your own life. And if in case it's working out for you, just put a comment under the video. I would be much happier to read on how these points changed your life, or how these points are making you stay happy in life. In case you like this video, please give a thumbs up, subscribe. I will meet you on the next video. Peace.
Rack it up, I gotta build up the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some